I think certainly being part of the China team, we are extremely fortunate to have Xie Zhenhua as the head negotiator and the top policymaker. I think many of you may have met Mr. Xia from time to time over the years. He's been coming to Hong Kong at least for the last 20 years. And he really is somebody that the national government has great respect for, as well as he's extremely well known in the international community. He's extremely well known to, I think, his counterparts in other parts of the world on climate change, because he has been there so long and is so well respected. Now, secondly is the Consul Lelas talked about Hong Kong's influencing China. And really we need to understand what our role is. I mean, first of all I think it's incumbent upon Hong Kong to understand what China is doing, because we are part of the PRC team. Secondly is where we are most useful is, in fact, I think something that has been said by everybody. If we can articulate fully how we look at the climate challenge. So I think it's very important for us to be able to do so, first of all for ourselves, so we know in Hong Kong how we look at the whole picture of climate change, and have something to take to COP21. Now, going to COP21, and this is where I have a slight disagreement with WWF. We're not able to go there and say, look at the marvelous targets that we are going to set. It's not about that. It's about going and spelling out for a city that has the characteristics that we have, what may be considered a well-considered leadership position. It's not about pounding the table and saying, look at us, look at our target, but it's perhaps to describe what it is that we can do now, what are the decisions we need to take as we go along, and how can we optimize and maximize the opportunities going forward. I would imagine every government, every company who's interested in doing more has to be very clear-headed about that. Now, we know 2015 and 2016 are the key energy and climate years for Hong Kong. It just so happens that in Hong Kong, everybody knows our scheme of control with the two power companies will expire in 2018. So I think everybody knows we have to start negotiations, start discussing with them. And I think we've already announced that in the first half of this year, so it's not very far away, we will come up with, I can tell you now, a fairly lengthy and complex consultation document about virtually every aspect of what WWF have shown you. So I'm not going to comment on any detail, but this is clearly a very important document for Hong Kong. And at about the same time, we will publish another document because Hong Kong has been so interested to want to discuss demand-side management. And demand-side management in Hong Kong is mainly, not wholly, but mainly about energy efficiency in buildings. So, but maybe you have some questions and I'll take that later. I completely agree with Alexandra Tracy that Hong Kong being a financial services center, there's a lot more we can do. Now, what she has reminded us today is, frankly, we're already doing quite a lot, but this is in the private sector. This is where huge sums of money is already being raised, but this is where Hong Kong people, and you could say the media, you could say the NGOs, pay hardly any attention to the financial services side. But this is an area that is quite specialized. Now, I do have a suggestion. Again, there are some things I cannot say right now because it's not yet public. The kind of information that Alexandra has just put to us, you probably want to request a meeting with Mrs. Laura Cha, who is the head of the Financial Services Development Council, quite soon. It'll be very useful, it'll be very positive at this time, right? So there's purpose behind it. And please bring only financial services experts, because you'll be talking expert to expert. So that's a hint. So maybe I can just stop here for now and take questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Any